The Whitaker family in Sugar Land, Texas, was seen as the model of a perfect family. The family consisted of Kent Whitaker, who worked in a family-owned construction company, his wife, Patricia, a former elementary school teacher, and two sons, Bart, 23 years old, and Kevin, 19 years old. In December 2003, the whole family organized a dinner to celebrate Bart's graduation from Sam Houston University. During the meal, Kent, the younger brother, and the mother gave Bart a gift that made everyone admire it. It was a $4,000 Rolex watch. This luxury gift was not something new to Bart. He had been generously provided for by his parents, from many luxury cars to even a townhouse, and full tuition at Baylor University and later at Sam Houston State. After dinner, the whole family returned home, and as soon as Kevin walked in, he was immediately shot in the chest by a masked stranger. The bullet pierced his heart, causing Kevin to collapse. The mother, Patricia, was walking right behind her son and was also shot in the chest. At that time, the father was still standing on the front porch. It went through his chest and was only about 15 centimeters from his shoulder and shattered his arm bone. At that time, Bart was walking to his car to get his phone when he heard the gunshot. He immediately ran into the house and confronted the attacker. The two struggled with each other. Bart was shot in the arm while the perpetrator passed away just minutes after being shot. Patricia was rushed to the hospital, but did not survive. In the end, only Kent and Bart survived. Initially, the police thought it was a robbery, interrupted midway. But the scene showed the opposite. The drawers in the house were only pulled out slightly. Nothing was ransacked, and the valuable items were still intact. At the scene, the police found registered in Kevin's name, along with a man's black leather glove, lying near Bart's car. The perpetrator had broken in through a window in Kevin's room on the second floor, then opened the gun safe, taking Kevin's gun, which was a gift from Bart. When the investigation began, a strange truth gradually emerged. Bart had actually never attended Sam Houston University. He had lied to his parents to receive tuition money and then used it for personal expenses. But initially, it was not yet considered directly related. Hip came forward to testify. He had gone to school with Bart at Clements High School and told the police that since 2001, Bart had asked him to help kill his parents. The plan was that Hip would be the shooter, hiding in the house when the family went out for dinner. And when they returned, Hip would shoot Kent, Patricia, and Kevin. Then Bart would intentionally shoot himself in the arm to create a fake scene that Bart was also a victim. Sounds familiar, right? An even more chilling fact was that both already knew about this plot. The police had called them after receiving information from an informant. But at the time, the plan sounded too absurd, and no one believed it was true. Bart told his parents it was just a misunderstanding. Not stopping there, the police also discovered, a year before that, around 2000, Bart had lured another student from Baylor to carry out a similar plan. But it also failed. To avoid prosecution for involvement, Hip agreed to cooperate with the police. He agreed to record conversations with Bart. In one recording, Bart offered to pay $20,000 for Hip to lie to the police, denying the 2001 plot. Bart even sent $240 to a post office box in Dallas that the two had set up for the purpose of transferring money. It is unclear why the police did not arrest Bart at that time, but they paid the price for this delay. In 2004, Bart's car was found, still running. But there was no one inside. Near an apartment complex in Houston, no one knew where Bart was. The police began investigating those close to Bart at the time of the shooting, including Chris Brashear and Stephen Champagne. The police wiretapped their phones and all Friends and relatives were called in for questioning. The immense pressure caused Stephen to break. He went to the police and confessed that he did not know where Bart was. But he said that he was the one who picked up Chris from the Whitaker house on the night of the crime. According to Stephen, Chris was the one who fired the shots. Now only one thing remained, and that was to find Bart by September. A man named Rudy. Rios told the police a shocking story. He said that Bart had bought his identity documents and then hired him to drive him to Mexico. In Mexico, Bart used Rudy's identity, telling extremely bizarre stories. He said that his gunshot wound was a war injury from Afghanistan, that he was an orphan, and that his mother was a prostitute. Finally, Bart Whitaker was tracked down and arrested. Bart had orchestrated the massacre of his family to inherit $1.5 million. However, he claimed that he did it because he felt crushed under immense pressure from his family. Bart had promised to pay Stephen and Chris millions of dollars from the inheritance if they agreed to cooperate. Chris accepted a plea deal and was sentenced to life in prison. It is possible he will be eligible for parole, and Stephen was sentenced to 15 years in prison in exchange for testimony, and currently he has been released. The jury only took 30 minutes to declare of capital murder, and the sentence he received was the death penalty. The most shocking thing was that the person who campaigned the hardest to save Bart's life was the very father that he had tried to murder. Not once, but 3 times on February 22nd, at exactly 6 p.m. Bart was scheduled to be executed. He was given his final meal. But at 5:15 p.m., just as Bart was about to be strapped to the gurney, his death sentence was commuted to life in prison after the tireless campaign of his father. Today, Bart's father still visits his son in prison, where Bart will spend the rest of his life. In November 2010, Yara, a 13-year-old girl,